Alright, real quick before we get into these tools, I want to clear something up. I didn't really design these, I conceptualized them, but Magswitch designed them. I didn't want to put conceptualized in the title, so I'm clearing it up here. With that done, let's get into the video. So let's talk about the new Universal Featherboard first. This is the Universal Featherboard Pro. First interesting thing about this tool is the two micro-adjustable bump feet that it has on the end. And this is an extra functionality that even the old one had to some limited extent. It could act as a stop block for a table saw crosscut, so you could do repeatable crosscuts. So we leaned into the potential to use it in this way and made two bump feet that are both micro adjustable. And why it's useful to have two is that you can use one stop to define the left edge of a slot and the other stop to define the other edge, hog out the material in the middle, and now you're not just doing repeatable crosscuts, you're doing repeatable slots. And the micro adjustability is handy because if you end up too tight or too loose, you can make a small change, try it again until you get it right, and then make whatever it is that you're making, once you know that you have the perfect fit you're looking for. Okay, so I know it's not the most impressive project in the world, but I wanted to show you something, and I needed to make this video pretty fast because I do still have a lot of vices to pack. But this is about Magswitch, not about Inclined. Let's get back to it. So it's time to talk about its actual Featherboard functionality. Now, the only problem I had with the old Universal Featherboard was that if it was positioned over the miter slot, it had a weakened magnetic bond to the table, and that limited its Featherboard force, and that is fixed. The new version has a wider magnetic base, and that performs better over the miter slot, and it also has these gaskets that increase the force of friction when they get compressed and really increase the maximum Featherboard force that this is able to deliver to the workpiece. And as you can see here, the new one is actually stronger when it's placed over the miter slot than the old one was on the solid table, so this is a big improvement. Alright, next new Magswitch tool, the miter slot indicator. So the first functionality that I'm going to show you is something that other tools can do. This does it in a bit of a different way that I kind of like. Those two magnets can grip the bar of a cross fence and then travel with it so that you can look at the alignment between the miter slot and the blade and get your table tuned up. You see, I'm out by almost 10 thousandths. And that was too much for me. I'm not a perfectionist with this kind of stuff, but it was enough that I thought it'd be worth fiddling around with, and it's a good demonstration of the tool. So I adjust the top of the table and tweak it and fiddle with it until I get it to the point where I'm out by just 2 thousandths, and that's close enough for my shop. So like I said, there are other tools that can do this, but the great thing about this tool, since it's all built around a magnetic switchable base, is that you can plunk this thing down at any point on the table saw and get a read on where the fence is. And this is handy when you're trying to dial in the fit, say, for this piece fitting into this slot tightly. So it's too big, I need to take just a little bit off. But if I take off too much, then I'm going to have a gap, and if this is visible, then that's a real problem. I can use this indicator on the opposite side of the fence to make very small micro adjustments in the fence until I get that perfect fit. So that's what I'm doing here. This was about a 2 thou change in the position of the fence, and I can repeat that process, sneaking up on it, knowing where I am, until I get the perfect fit. So that is the tight fit that I'm looking for. And just to take it a little bit farther, I'll use this tool to move the fence even further, so 3 thousandths more, and make another cut. And now you can see that it's not terrible, but it is loose and you can see a gap. So for all you machinists that are yelling, woodworkers don't need ultra precision, in some cases it's definitely nice to have. And finally, the last new product that we're launching today is a vertical featherboard. Now this is handy if you have a thin workpiece that you're ripping on the table saw and it tends to warp a little bit and it lifts up from the blade and it's hard to keep that piece down flush to the table. This featherboard can mount to the center of a Biesmeyer style fence and apply downward force on that workpiece to keep it where you want it as you pass it across the blade. And this can also come into play when you're making non-through cuts that you want a consistent depth. And in this case, that's made even more complicated because this piece is warped a bit. So that downward pressure right at the blade can really ensure that the bottom side of the workpiece is resting against the table saw and you're going to have that consistent depth all the way across the cut. And just a quick note, we did make this so that the featherboard, traveling featherboard portion can be flipped around and used on the opposite side of the workpiece if you're left-handed, or maybe if you actually want to mount the magnet on the saw and have a hole down on the opposite side of the workpiece from the fence, you can do that with this tool. Well, thanks for watching. I've been excited about sharing these for a while, so I hope you like these tools. There's a link in the description to see the sale page for these. This is a Black Friday launch and it's a pre-sale, so they are discounted right now. And if you use this code, you get an extra 10% off. Now, it's going to be a pretty rare thing, and it might never happen again that this discount code I'm able to give you, the 10% off, stacks with another discount that Magswitch is doing. This is going to be very infrequent. I don't think these will ever be this cheap again. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that that discount code I'm able to give you is through the Magswitch affiliate program. Now, I don't actually get an affiliate payment if you make a purchase because I'm consulting with Magswitch and they're compensating me in other ways. But that is a program that's open to any content creator, anyone who's has an audience and likes Magswitch products. So if you're curious about that, it's a really good deal. You're able to get for your audience a discount and get some money yourself. If you like these tools or other Magswitch products and you want to know more about that affiliate program, there's also an email in the description. I can give you some more details if you're curious. That's all for now. Thanks again. Catch you next time.